always good to start with what you learned the time before to keep that nice and strong in your brain. You see those? So, so we had that lumbodorsal fascia back here, that white connective tissue layer on the back. Right next to that are the muscles on the side where the external oblique. Then we found this skinny little guy, sartorius. Then we found this huge biceps femoris. Then below that, the little tiny caudofemoralis. Someone besides Eloise.
I'm saying it just really
Big in man, small in cat. Gluteus maximus, then big rounded medius. Then we had our fan-shaped tensor fasciolata, and then the little connective tissue that should still be there, the fasciolata, and then on the back of the leg we found the semitendinosus. So remember, you're supposed to be learning functions too. So with functions, think about all a muscle can do is shorten. So what are the actions of a lot of these muscles, thinking that they're right here on the body? If they're shortening, what's my leg gonna do? It's gonna pull out, right? So what's this action called? Do you remember? Taking away from the body? Abduction, okay? So most of these muscles right here are abductors, okay? Semitendinosus, though, what's that gonna do? It's on the back of the leg. It's probably more bending, so it's gonna flex at the knee, right? So think about where are they located, what would they do, all right? So, but also in the cat book, there's a list of the functions on each page. Here. Jenna, I might have you help me out by holding Kitty straight. I might be good, Jen. All right, so flip side of the sartorius, we're just gonna find that spot where you separated it before. We're gonna follow our finger along until we see that midline, and usually you'll find a vein right there, but you might have lifted that off with the skin. So we're just gonna pick a little bit right at that midline. If you have tender muscles, you wanna be careful here, but you should be able to just separate that muscle off the ones below it. We're going to separate it all the way down to the knee. We do want a picture or drawing of the superficial muscles. So this is a pretty quick one. You know, once you get them separated out, take a quick shot and then you can snip them off. So there's the sartorius in all its glory, just a real thin muscle. In man, anybody know what the sartorius does? It's my favorite muscle. Starts at the hip, wraps around to the inside of the knee. Okay, so it does more of a rotation kind of a thing, and the cat is a little different, but it is adduction, yes. Okay, the gracilis, we may have to separate very carefully from the semimembranosus on the inner thigh. Gracilis is going to be what's it going to do? What's its action, you think? On the inner thigh? Adduction. Think about that machine where you sit and your legs are all spread and then you pull them in. That's adduction, and that's your gracilis working. And it's a teeny tiny little muscle in man. In the cat, it's a little wider or bigger. Okay, so again, superficial thin muscle. Just gonna separate it from the center here, lift it up so my hand's completely under it. So gracilis, all right? So sartorius, gracilis, those are your two superficial muscles. So you're gonna draw those, then you're gonna take their tendon down. If you wanna preserve that blood vessel, you can. Just leave it there. We're gonna take it down as far as we can. Just tear, not gonna work, not snip. I actually like to pull it off because it's going to expose a few of the lower leg muscles and make it a little easier for us next time. By the way, if you're going to be gone Friday, I know I've got quite a few choir people. No, I don't have you guys Friday, I have you Thursday. That doesn't matter.
There's still a lot of people gone Thursday.
What's that?
There's still going to be a lot of people gone Thursday.
Oh, that's true. If you're going to be gone Thursday for the history exam, let me know and I will help you out with the lower leg. Okay, so I snipped the the gracilis. I'm also going to do the same thing with the sartorius. So I'm just taking it down as far as it can go, snipping its tendon. So I'm not cutting the muscle itself, just the tendon. So I'm going to take that off. Yeah, just like that. Alright, so gracilis separated at the base of it, lifted back. Sartorius separated at the knee, lifted back. So again, keep those in one piece. Even though the book picture shows that they're cut in the center, I don't ever like to cut muscles right down the center of them. Then you got two pieces and it's confusing. So our goal is to keep our muscles all in one piece. All right, underneath this sartorius, what we're gonna see is, again, the edge of that tensor fascia lata. And so this group, actually, they took off some of their fascia lata, so that actually made their tensor fascia lata dangle free right here. Going down. So there's the tensor fascia lata. So if your fascia lata is still connected, you actually are going to separate just the little edge of that and move it out of the way. And by doing so, you're going to expose the vastus lateralis. So this big muscle is right under the tensor fascia lata, is the vastus lateralis. This is going to separate these two muscles. Basically, the way these muscles work is there's like a cylinder muscle in the center, that's the rectus femoris, and the two vastus muscles wrap around it kind of like rose petals. Okay, so they're wrapped around it like this. So you don't want to dig straight down, or you're going to rip through the rectus femoris. So the rectus femoris has this great connective tissue that looks fascia-like on the surface of it. So it looks nice and white and shiny. It's easy to identify it from the other two. So we're just going to separate the edge of that vastus lateralis, vastus lateralis from the rectus femoris. Sometimes it's clean, sometimes not. It's good on the bottom, not the top there. So vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, vastus medialis. Okay? And then again, that little edge of the tensor fascia lata sticks out there, but we already saw him earlier. So that's all underneath what? Sartorius. Okay, so we lift sartorius. On the outside, I have the vastus lateralis, the middle, rectus femoris on the inside, vastus medialis. Beautiful. Okay, under the gracilis, I should have separated my semitendinosus from my semimembranosus, but if I did it, then I'll do that now. So semitendinosus we found last time, right? So that was on the back side of the leg. So it's going to flex the cat's leg at the knee. So semitendinosus. So now let's look. See how you can see a great line right there? Do I want to use that line? No, I don't want to use that line. So this is my line that would separate my semimembranosus into two chunks. So I don't want to be fooled into taking that spot. So I'm actually going to look for, and sometimes the cats will have it right here, where there's a little tiny blood vessel coming down that actually will dive down right about the point where I want to make my first division. And so that first division is separating my semimembranosus from my adductor femoris. All right, and so all I'm doing is using my probe, just going to separate the connective tissue right there and look. So now I have my semitendinosus, my beautiful big one-piece semimembranosus. My adductor femoris is more of a triangle shape, and then usually hiding underneath the edge of that femoral vein will be my adductor longus. So if you are gone, one thing to remember too is I'm posting these videos on my website. So last class's video is now up. I actually have the lower leg one is there from last year, and then the back and the chest muscles are already there from last year also. So today's video will go up and be on my website and ready able to use to review, or that's better today. Okay, so semitendinosus. What's this one? Semimembranosus. Triangular adductor femoris, little tiny adductor longus. So long, skinny adductor longus. And then if your cat's really muscular, you might have another tiny one called a pectineus right in there, but we are not going to worry about that one. All right, so that's what you need today. So under the sartorius, those muscles. Under the gracilis, those muscles. And study, because next class we're going to get more on the lower leg. Get ready, get set, go.